Hello friends, in this video we are discussing about Z parameters, and this Z parameters is also called as impedance parameters. In previous video we have discussed about the introduction to two-port networks. In these two-port networks we have discussed about it consists of four variables, that is V1, I1, V2 and I2. To obtain the linear equation we have to assign two variables as independent and another two variables as independent. In case of Z parameters, V1 and V2 as to assign as dependent variables and I1 and I2 as to consider as independent variables. So if we write this in terms of function, means V1 and V2 is dependent on I1 and I2. So we can write this in equation form, that is V1 is equal to Z11 I1 plus Z12 I2. V2 is equal to Z21 I1 plus Z22 I2, where Z11, Z12, Z21, Z22 are Z parameters. So if we write in matrix form, it look like this. To obtain the Z parameters, we have to assign the independent variables as 0. In case of Z parameters, I1 and I2 as independent variables. So let first I will take I2 is equal to 0. I2 is equal to 0 means port 2 is open circuited. 2 represents port 2. I means current. As current is 0 means it is open circuited. Therefore, equation 1 becomes V1 is equal to Z11 into I1 as I2 is 0. Therefore, Z11 becomes V1 by I1 as I2 is 0. Similarly, equation 2 becomes Z21 into I1. Therefore, Z21 is equal to V2 by I1 by considering I2 is equal to 0. Similarly, we will take another independent variable, that is I2. Another independent variable is I1, that is equal to 0, to obtain two other Z parameters. I1 is equal to 0 means port 1 is open circuited. By considering port 1 open circuited, we can calculate Z12 and Z22 similarly as in previous section. Therefore, Z22 is equal to V2 by I2 by considering I1 is equal to 0. By using this, we can find out the Z parameters. That is, by considering I1 is equal to 0 by making port 1 open circuited and I2 is equal to 0 by making port 2 is open circuited. By considering I1 is equal to 0, we can find out Z12 and Z22. By making I2 is equal to 0, we can find out Z21 and Z11. Okay, let's solve the problems. Here we have to determine the Z parameters. First, they will give the circuit. For this circuit, we have to write the two port variables, that is V1, I1, V2 and I2. And also we know that how to find out the Z parameters, and also we know the equation. Write down this equation. By assigning independent variable, that is I1 is equal to 0, we can find out Z12 and Z22. By making I1 is equal to 0, we can find out Z12 and Z22. By making I2 is equal to 0, we can find out Z11 and Z21. First, I will take I2 is equal to 0. I will redraw the circuit. To calculate Z parameters, I will use the loop analysis method. So for this, first I will assign the loop current. I will take this one as IA. IA means IA is equal to I1. Here I will assign in anti-clockwise direction because I2 is in this direction. Suppose if we write IB in clockwise, if we assign in clockwise direction, we have to take I2 is equal to minus IB, that's all. So first I will apply the KVL for loop 1. We will get V1 minus 20 IA minus 40 IA plus IB, because both these two currents are in downwards direction, therefore we can add these two currents, is equal to 0. As we consider this I2 is equal to 0, therefore IB also becomes 0. So this becomes 0. Therefore we will get V1 minus 60 IA is equal to 0. As we know that IA is equal to I1. Why? Because means we have to write in 4 variables, that is V1, I1, V2 and I2, not other than these 4 variables. If we have other than these 4 variables, means we have to relate to the 4 variables. Therefore, V1 by I1 becomes 60, that is equal to Z11. Means we have calculated Z11 by considering I2 is equal to 0. Means Z11 is equal to V1 by I1 by considering I2 is equal to 0, that is equal to how much? 60 ohm. All Z parameters unit is ohms only. Next, we will apply for loop 2. It becomes V2 minus 30 IB minus 40 IA plus IB. As we know that IB is equal to 0, therefore we will get here V2 minus 40 IA. As we know that IA is equal to I1 V2 by I1 is equal to 40 by considering I2 is equal to 0, means this parameter is Z21. Unit is 40 ohm. Similarly, to find other two parameters, I will assign another independent variable I1 is equal to 0, means port 1 is open circuited. I will redraw the circuit. Here the current I1 is equal to 0. Therefore, IA also becomes 0. Here I will take the loop current as IB. Okay. I will apply the KVL for loop 1. Loop 1 becomes V1 minus 20 IA minus 40 IA plus IB is equal to 0. As we know that IA is equal to 0, this becomes 0 and also this becomes 0. Therefore, we will get minus V1 minus 40 into IB. As we know that IB is equal to I2. Here IB and I2 are in same direction. Therefore, this equation becomes V1 by I2 is equal to 40 by considering I1 is equal to 0. This parameter becomes Z12. And loop 2, we will apply the KVL for loop 2, becomes V2 minus 30 IB minus 40 IA plus IB is equal to 0. As we know that Ia is equal to 0, this equation becomes V2 minus 70 IB is equal to 0, as IB is equal to I2. This equation becomes V2 by I2 is equal to 70. By considering I1 is equal to 0, this parameter becomes Z22 and its unit is O. Therefore, the Z parameter values are find out now. We will write in matrix form. First one Z11 is equal to 60 ohm, Z12 is equal to 40 ohm, Z21 is also 40 ohm, and Z22 is equal to 70 ohm. This is the answer. Thank you.